Holy smokes. Whoa, how you gonna fit two there?
We're gonna build a plate. No locks are broken.
Holy smokes.
It's like it's not quite like the other steel cages where this is more of a square tube roll cage.
Wow. Oh, okay. That thing is solid sealed off all the way down and around.
The only thing right here at the top on both sides, I still got to do right here.
Okay, yeah, it's still leaking a little bit. Wow.
Yeah, well, it does alright.
Appreciate you showing me, man. Check out the alternator.
We put a JS 370 this year.
370? Okay.
We're gonna put another one up here.
So you can put two in it? Yeah. Alright.
He's an engineer. We're gonna
whoa, how you gonna fit two in there?
we're gonna build a plate. I've got shafts, bearings and everything. We're gonna run them side by side, all of the shafts.
So you can put two of them right there.
And the hood would never change, so you just put it right beside it.
I like the bracket you got.
Yeah, we had to beef it up because we kept belt slipping. He's got more belt slipping than I do now. Because he is running two of them.
Yep.
I had to work on this. We're getting there.
Yes, sir.
Run out of money.
Yep. I didn't even see this.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back and go ahead and add a piece of wood to the roof probably.
Solid though.
But it kept slipping, breaking. So
yeah.
I don't do it no more.
No.
No, it's not.
Awesome. We'll come get a demo later.
Yeah, boy.
Thank you. Yes, sir. And you're trying to put another 18 in here somehow.
Yeah.
Wow. Still haven't seen nothing like this. I'm saying it again, but it's crazy. I love it.
I wanted to do something different, well, as long as it plays fun.
Yes, sir.
Can you come over to the Malibu right across what you're done?
Yeah, man. Right there.
Just all to get going.
Solid. Solid, man.
Yeah, the one that still wants to.
Still moves a little?
Yeah. I think it's the car though. I do like the ZV5s better.
You do? U5s?
They cool better. I like the way
Really?
they perform, but
Okay.
they hold up a lot better.
Rhythm is a dancer. I need a companion. Girl, I guess that must be you. Body like the summer, fucking like no other. Don't you tell them what we do. Don't know you say you're down with it. Don't tell them how you hit the ground with it. Girl, you know I'm from Chicago. I act a fool, Bobby Brown with it. tell them don't.
Man, that's pretty brutal, dude.
That's
Especially with your head right by the port, so all that velocity pressure hitting you.
Yeah.
Woo.
Well, I was right at my tuning. I'm tuning it. Well, my peak is 38. So.
Okay, so right at it. Heck yeah.
It'll play down to like 21, 22, but that's.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Have you heard it yet?
Oh yeah.
That thing is.
I play close to my peak. My motor stays up better.
You might have more rise, but it's louder.
But it's louder, yeah. When that voltage drops to 13.5 or lower, it just heats up so bad. That's all right there.
Thank you, man. What's going on, everybody on YouTube? I'm JacobViral. I do daily car audio videos. Hope you enjoyed the build today. An insane car audio build. Got to see a lot of fabrication work to the alternator setup, also the box, the plexiglass, the bracing, etc. There's a lot of things that are awesome to see in this build. It may not be the prettiest, but it's definitely loud. And for a tiny car like this, to fit 318s is very impressive. And he's going to 418s somehow, so I'm sure I'll get to see that build in the future as well. Awesome demo, man. I'm sure you're watching. Guys, be sure to give it a like and comment some good feedback. Great demo and a decent walk around as well. So hope you guys enjoyed. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with thank you guys for always watching. Don't forget to subscribe and add me on Instagram and Facebook, JacobViral. So today's going to go to, for a shout out, I do a shout out most days. Today's going to go to Greg Baker. He said, hey Jacob, man, awesome videos always. How about a shout out here from Texas? So what's up, man? Greg from Texas. There's your shout out, man. Appreciate you watching. Good to see that you're one of my subscribers from Texas, man. People all over the United States and all over the world watching the cardio videos, so good to see you from Texas, Greg. Alright, two things to talk about real quick before I end. First thing is roof flex. So one thing a lot of people don't maybe think about is regardless of what build you're doing, you're walled, not walled, you have a vehicle with just the trunk build or SUV, extreme builds, etc. Flex is a killer when it comes to not just on the base level of it for how loud you are, but also for how it sounds. The less flex, the better, because normally that contains the bass more. So this guy did a lot of fabrication work. You notice at the top of his vehicle there was some welding work done with fabrication. He had a bracing in there. He also had a really well braced box enclosure as well. So stuff like that he did is a huge gain for on the meter, get louder as well as it contains the bass. Same with the doors. You want to make sure your doors aren't flexing. It's nice to see the flex anytime you do play it, but at the same time you also got to think the less flex, the louder you can be. That's why a lot of these bigger, louder guys are always fabricating, working everything to make it as loud as possible with what they got. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about. But regardless of the size of the build, from 110 in the trunk to 15 18s or whatever, the same concept applies for you can get louder just by preventing flex. Second thing, look at how thick the plexiglass was in this build. I wanted to briefly mention this because of a lot of guys that are doing the more cosmetically attractive boxes where you can see into the enclosure with like a plexiglass or some form of a laminate glass to where you can see through it and put LEDs in there. It's a great idea, genius to see the motor of the subwoofer as well as just to see inside of the box design. But consider having a thick piece of glass, probably minimum of 3/4 inch to 1 inch. That way you know it's matching at least the thickness of the wood for one baffle. Most people do 3/4 or 1 inch, but make sure that's the case, because if you go too slimsy, too slim, then it'll cause it to flex, and that actually can end up either popping, cracking, and it would also not be as contained for the base, because whenever you got flex inside of the box, it's not really efficient for the enclosure as well. So this is something to bring up and think about, and also consider how wide it is. So as wider you go, the more thick that needs to be. And notice the bolts that were on it as well. Really impressive build. That's all I got. I can talk all day, but that's all I got for today. Great build, great demo, and thanks guys for always watching. Stay tuned for a video tomorrow.